What's up, everyone? Welcome back to yet another trade recap video of Asia session on gold. I'm just going to keep doing these as long as I'm trading that day. I have a decent setup and it aligns with my model, what I was expecting, and what you could have done to take advantage of this. Because today I got a lot of DMs from different people that were like, hey, I actually had a bearish narrative. So what made you go long here? And to be honest, I also had a bearish narrative. I did some journaling today before the session started, and I wrote down in like an anchored note what I was anticipating, and I said, I'm expecting a bullish expansion today. However, below are a lot of draws on liquidity. And those draws on liquidity that I was referencing are these on the daily time frame. So draws on liquidity is just another word for targets, aims that the market's going to go to. And these draws on liquidity for me were right here. First of all, the daily fair value gap right here. So obviously we closed inside of this one, which I have been looking at on the daily time frame since like yesterday. I sent it out as like another trade that we were in yesterday. You can see like if we go back before this day even existed and we take a look at the leg inside of this previous day, you'll see that we ran this is today actually, but yesterday we ran from it nearly all the way up into this thing. So from the daily fair value gap, we already got a bullish move, and I was anticipating the same thing that we were looking for today, but inside of yesterday's candle. Right, so today when we opened, it was to no surprise that we actually ran up. You know, I was expecting us to run up from here, and I even shared it before it happened inside of the Telegram group. Let's see. Okay, there you go. So the first time we ran into it, I was like, we're gonna tap in and we're gonna run to this 4-hour fair value gap that we missed. Okay, so if you wanna get this information before it happens, click the link in the bio. I'm going to drop the Telegram link in there if you're not already in there. And basically, yeah, so it closed right there. And while there was a lot of draws on liquidity below, I was open-minded to it. Because what I aim for inside of my model is confirmation. And this confirmation, first of all, is time, right? I wait for Asia session to open up. And second of all, I wait for an IFVG as my confirmation. And today on the 1-hour time frame, I got the confirmation that I was looking for. Once we started running up, I was like, yeah, we can go down, especially the fact that this daily candle has no wick. That is a huge target. I'm always looking for daily candles or 4-hour candles without a wick as draws on liquidity. Market loves filling those up before continuing in a specific direction. And here on the 1-hour time frame, you can see it's already marked out this 1-hour bearish fair value gap. So when Asia session started, pay attention to this. We can go back exactly right here, and you'll see as soon as Asia session started, which is 7:30, and the next candle opened, basically the 7:30 candle closed, or the 8 o'clock 1-hour candle closed above. I'm gonna make sure my mic isn't getting. I recently filmed a video and it was like a long video, and I checked after and realized that my microphone had been banging against my light stand, and it was like bonk, bonk, bonk. But I didn't decide to refilm that video. Anyways. Right there, you see that? So 7:30 and 8 o'clock opened above it. So when I saw this 1-hour candle, which opened above the 1-hour bearish fair value gap, that's an IFVG now. So I was already looking for buys. Now it was a matter of like confirmation on the lower time frame. And the confirmation that I got was right here. So when this new candle opened, I saw an immediate rebalance. So for those of you that don't know what that means, is fair value gaps form if there's a gap between the wick of the top candle and the wick of the bottom candle. So the bottom of the top candle and the top of the bottom candle inside of a bearish 3 candles, right? Inside of a 3 candle range. So a new fair value gap would have formed right here if price ran up right away. But one of the confluences that I use is called an immediate rebalance. If the wick comes down and overlaps with the previous wick, there will be no fair value gap. And that's basically like a sign that price wants to fill this up so that there's no fair value gap that it wants to run to later. And so I use that as like a confirmation, an additional confirmation to the IFVG, and I just held my position from there towards the 4-hour fair value gap, which I'm now expecting price to invert. But it looks like it's running down because we respected it nicely at the top where we closed right there. New candle opened and we're starting to run down. I don't know yet if we're going to go ahead and flip it and run down to this draw on liquidity, which I was talking about a little bit earlier, 4-hour bearish fair value gap, which is slightly above this high. So I'm obviously going to be targeting that. I'm not sure yet if it wants to come down here, fill this wick, first, or if it's going to run down or run back up now that it immediately rebalanced this new fair value gap that would have formed. But yeah, that's what I'm keeping an eye out, and that's what the trade that I took today. It was this trade right here. So I ended up holding for almost 400 pips, and I took out a bunch of partials along the way, like equal highs. It was super nice on the lower time frame. There were equal highs that lined up right here. So let me get rid of all this stuff. Lower time frame, equal highs lined up super nicely, and that's what was swept right there. Yeah, that's it for this trade recap video. For Asia session, it was a quick session. I don't have London session to reference. If I did this in the next day, I would have done that. But I just wanted to recap of Asia session for today and kind of like use this as like a journal of what I've been seeing recently on gold, repeating over and over again. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next trading day, in the next Asia session with a beautiful IFVG. Hope you guys learned something from this video.